Is there anything more dangerous in professional sports than a front office that tells a player they don't want him, only to be forced to rely on him when the dust settles? Welcome back, everyone. We need to have a serious, perhaps uncomfortable conversation about the state of the Philadelphia Phillies as we stare down the barrel of spring training. The headlines this winter haven't just been about who we signed or who we missed. They've been about the shadows, the whispers, and the phone calls that didn't quite turn into deals. We are looking at a roster that is championship caliber on paper, but underneath the surface, are we seeing the cracks of a chemistry crisis before the first pitch is even thrown? The latest report from The Athletic's Jim Bowden has dropped a bombshell that changes how we view this entire offseason. It confirms that Dave Dombrowski and the front office weren't just kicking tires, they were actively hunting for a massive upgrade, specifically targeting Arizona Diamondbacks superstar Ketel Marte. This isn't just a rumor about adding depth. This is a revelation about intent. By checking in on a three-time All-Star like Marte, the Phillies were signaling a desire for a fundamental shift in their infield dynamic. We know they wanted Bo Bichette before he went to the Mets, a move that still stings for many of us in the Delaware Valley, but the pursuit of Marte adds a whole new layer of intrigue. Imagine that lineup. Imagine the switch-hitting prowess of Marte at Citizens Bank Park. But here's the catch, and it is a massive one. To make room for a player of that caliber, you are essentially telling your current roster configuration that it isn't good enough. Specifically, you are looking at Bryson Stott moving to third base, which leaves Alec Bohm. Where? Let's contextualize this. Alec Bohm is coming off an all-star season in 2024. Yet, for the second consecutive winter, his name has been dangled in trade rumors like bait in shark-infested waters. This isn't just business as usual. This feels personal. When a team publicly covets replacements, first Bichette, now the revelation about Marte, they are sending a message loud and clear to the incumbent starter. The message is, we are trying to upgrade you. Now, put yourself in Bohm's cleats. You've had the highs, you've had the lows, you've famously declared, I love this place after a rough night. But now the organization seems to be suffering from a wandering eye. The psychological toll of this cannot be overstated. We are talking about a player who wears his heart on his sleeve, entering a contract year, knowing full well his bosses tried to replace him with a shiny new toy from the desert. The pursuit of Marte wasn't just a casual inquiry. It was a statement of ambition that failed to materialize. Arizona GM Mike Hazen shut it down, declaring Marte off-limits, but the damage to the internal morale might already be done. We are weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting, and instead of a solidified, confident infield, we have a third baseman who knows he was the backup plan to a blockbuster trade that never happened. This is the kind of off-season drama that can fester in a clubhouse. It's the elephant in the room that no amount of best shape of my life interviews can hide. The Phillies swung for the fences in the trade market and missed, and now they have to hope the bridge they nearly burned with Bohm is still sturdy enough to cross when the season begins. Let's dig deeper into the mechanics of this potential blockbuster and what it says about the Phillies' evaluation of their own talent. If the Phillies had landed Ketel Marte, the infield shuffle would have been fascinating. The plan, theoretically, was to slide the slick-fielding Bryson Stott over to the hot corner. Stott is an incredible athlete, a Gold Glove-caliber defender at second, but moving him to third base is a significant adjustment. It changes the defensive geometry of the entire team. It suggests that the front office values Marte's bat and Stott's versatility more than they value the stability Bohm provides at third. This is a direct indictment of Bohm's second-half fade in 2024. We all saw it. The power outage, the frustration at the plate, it clearly spooked the decision-makers enough to make that call to Arizona. But we have to look at the broader landscape of the National League. The Diamondbacks are competitors. They went to the World Series recently. Why would they trade their best player? Jim Bowden suggests that Arizona's stance could change with a robust offer, perhaps triggered by a spring training injury elsewhere. This keeps the door slightly ajar, a terrifying prospect for the current roster stability. It means the rumors might not die until the trade deadline. Imagine playing the first 4 months of the season with this cloud hanging over your head. The Red Sox, Yankees, and Tigers were also sniffing around Marte. The Phillies were in a heavyweight fight for talent, and while they didn't get knocked out, they didn't land the punch either. Now let's talk about the cap hit and the roster construction. The Phillies have been relatively quiet aside from retaining the core pillars like Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto. The only new face of significance is Brad Keller in the bullpen. Is that enough? When you look at the Dodgers, the Braves, and yes, even the Mets making moves, does standing pat with a roster you tried to dismantle feel like a winning strategy? There is a massive risk here. If the Phillies start slow, if Bohm struggles out of the gate, the narrative will immediately shift to they should have paid the price for Marte. The pressure on the front office is immense. They have essentially told the fan base, we tried to get better, couldn't, so here is the same team again. Furthermore, we have to analyze the Bohm factor in terms of future value. He is a year away from free agency. If the Phillies aren't going to extend him, and trying to trade him twice suggests they won't, then his value is a depreciating asset. Every day he stays on the roster without a long-term deal, his trade value drops. By keeping him after failing to find an upgrade, the Phillies are walking a tightrope. If he has a monster season, he walks for nothing but a qualifying offer pick. If he tanks, they are stuck with a hole at third base during a championship window. It is a high-stakes game of poker, and right now, it looks like the Phillies are bluffing with a hand they don't entirely love. The fans are divided. Half of you are screaming that we need to support our homegrown talent. That Bohm is a key chemistry guy. The other half looks at the OPS numbers, looks at the defensive metrics, and says, Marte would have made us World Series favorites. This division in the fan base mirrors the uncertainty in the front office. We are stuck in limbo between the team we have and the super team we almost built. So, where does this leave us as we count down the days to Clearwater? We are left with a reality that is both comforting and unsettling. The comforting part is that this team, as currently constructed, is still a powerhouse. We have Wheeler, Nola, Harper, Turner. The core is elite. But the unsettling part is the human element. You cannot treat players like assets on a spreadsheet and expect zero emotional fallout. Alec Bohm is a human being. He reads the reports. He knows the team checked in on Marte. He knows they wanted Bichette. How he responds to this will define the Phillies' 2026 season. Will he crumble under the weight of being unwanted? Or will he channel that frustration into a revenge tour season, proving Dave Dombrowski wrong with every double he smashes into the gap? History tells us that lame duck players can go one of two ways. We've seen guys check out, their performance dipping as they count the days to free agency. But we've also seen the contract year phenomenon, where a player fueled by spite and the pursuit of a massive paycheck puts up MVP numbers. Phillies fans have to hope for the latter. We have to hope that the clubhouse leadership, Harper, Schwarber, Realmuto, can circle the wagons and keep the morale high. They need to make Bohm feel like their third baseman, even if the front office viewed him as a trade chip. The chemistry of this team has always been its superpower. The daycare, the vibes, the camaraderie. This offseason has tested that bond more than any losing streak ever could. Ultimately, the pursuit of Ketel Marte is a story of ambition meeting reality. It shows us that the Phillies are desperate to win now. They are willing to sacrifice popularity and continuity for a better chance at the trophy. You have to respect the hustle, even if the execution left things messy. But now, the rumors must stop. The focus must shift. The roster is likely set. This is the group that has to go to war against the Braves and the Dodgers. There is no magical savior coming from Arizona. It's going to be Bohm, Stott, Turner, and Harper. It's time to lock in. I want to hear from you, the heartbeat of this franchise. Do you think the Phillies made a mistake by publicly chasing replacements for Bohm? Does this damage the locker room? Or is it just part of the ruthless business of baseball? And if you were Alec Bohm, how would you handle this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them because your passion drives this channel. If you want us to keep bringing you the unfiltered truth about the Phillies, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Let's turn this uncertainty into fuel. Let's get ready for baseball. I'll see you in the next one.